one day on the island of Sildor, and Thomas was pulling the loco. And then Gordon was coming down the line, and Thomas was like, "Oh, sugar honey iced tea, it's Gordon." And the coaches be like, "Thomas, don't spare your life on racing Gordon." And Thomas was like, "You two just go off. I'm going to be racing Gordon." And then they were racing. And Thomas won because Gordon is too fat. And then Thomas made it to that one station, that one line that goes from Sildor to the mainland, but we don't talk about that. And then Thomas met this steam engine with 2 tenders. And then he said, "I am the Flying Scotsman, Gordon's brother. Congratulations, brother, for nobody gives a damn." Thomas was like, "Wow, so cool." Scotsman was like, "Flying Scotsman coming through. Hi, that's my line." And then when Thomas came back to Knapford, he found every single engine on the railway bugging Sir Topham Hatt to take them to the Great Railway Show.
Will you want to take us to the railway show? Will you want to take us to the railway show?
And then Thomas wanted to go to the Great Railway Show, but Gordon, the fat tender engine, was like, "Sir Topham Hatt will not take a little tank engine like you to the Great Railway Show. Ha, ha, ha." So then Thomas was like, something trucks in the yard, and he was like, "I want to go to the Great Railway Show." And then Thomas saw, Caitlin, but I'm using Connor because I don't have a Caitlin and I'm poor. And Thomas was like, "I should be streamlined." And his coaches were like, "No, Thomas, whoever heard of a streamlined?"
Is a bit of redefining a slinky, slicker, swifter coat that's smooth and shining. To get the speed I really need, streamlining.
And then Thomas crashed. And then he fell over because he crashed and he killed all the passengers. Like that one creepypasta that's very famous to this day, but we don't say his name. And Sir Topham Hatt was like, "Thomas, we do not do that stuff." And Thomas was like, "But sir, why don't you rebuild some steam engine and make them streamlined, yeah?" And Sir Topham Hatt was like, "Oh yes, I shall streamline Gordon." And Thomas was like, "But sir, you can't streamline Gordon. He's too fat." "Thomas, we do not say stuff about Gordon." Later, Thomas came to the docks. And then Thomas met these international engines from around the country. And then Thomas met this Indian tank engine, but we don't say her name nowadays. Then this engine was taking his branch line over because he wasn't there. And Thomas was like, "You are trouble."
You can only be you. There's nothing else you can possibly do. It's plain to me that you're trying too hard. So instead, just be who you are.
I don't want to be me.
You wish you could be faster, bigger, stronger.
And then Sir Topham Hatt got the engines he wanted to go to the Great Railway Show. Thomas was going to be in the shunting competition, but he chose Percy instead. But there was one problem. Gordon forgot his safety valve. So then Thomas had to rush to give Gordon his safety valve. And he had to jump Vickerstown Bridge. And then he mistaked this German engine for Gordon. What? You forgot your safety valve. I don't care. And then the great race started,
My clouds today all have a silver lining. I'll see my bossy brother get some undermining. 'Cause I'm
And then
the
Gordon
cream,
safety
the
valve
best in Steam
burst.
Dreamline.
And he should have died from that. But he's still alive. Wow, the great race was going crazy! And the French boxcar won. Meanwhile, Percy was being wimpy because he was scared of shunting because he said, Thomas, please, do it for me. And Thomas was like, Percy, you can only be you. I cannot do this because, Percy was like, please, Thomas, I beg of you, I'll give you my mail card for a day if you did a shunting competition for me. And Thomas was like, fine. Meanwhile, in the Great Railway Show, Philip, which I'm using this caboose as, was running away from Vinny, this American bully train, because I don't even know why. And then he got stuck on this. Then he almost came off the rails, and Vinny was like, He was stopped by Thomas and his other train, and then they stopped him, and then he crashed. Other stuff I want to tell y'all about, but I don't want to do that because I'm too lazy.